We're getting 2019 started off right here on Combustion Chamber Live. We are out here at Cars and Coffee Palm Beach, once again, the premier Cars and Coffee show. Let's get after it. All right, let's get things started off right with the Rolls-Royce limo from Boardwalk Empire is here today. I believe it's called a Silver Ghost 1921, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check that. Actually, yep, it is 1921. Right-hand drive. So if you're a fan of the show Boardwalk Empire, you're probably thrilled to see this. Really, really neat vehicle. And it's so neat to see something this classic out here. Of course, it has right in front, like all Rolls-Royce cars, the Spirit of Ecstasy. Design has changed slightly over the years, but it is essentially the same thing. Of course, when you grab that, which you're not supposed to touch it, it won't retract into the body like the modern ones do. It's got suicide doors. We already spotted the right-hand drive. Plenty of space in the back for you, your Tommy gun. And then we come around here, two Lotus race cars out here today. Right-hand drive as well for this one. The other one is standard for us. Very nice. Around here, get you a shot of the race car. And you know, this show is already in full swing, and as you can clearly tell, it's just a ton of people here today. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon for instant notifications when we go live. And sharing these videos really means a lot. Share it with your friends. And if you want to see some of the photos from today's event, check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And this is pretty wild. I bet this thing scoots. It's got to be so light. A regular Lotus is light as it is. Now look at that. It's a nice, subtle, small, compact car that has everybody's attention out here today. As you can see, it's massive. You can see people standing next to it. It gives you an idea of the size and the scale of this vehicle. Wow. Hey, now that's the car accessory, except not in real life. This thing is huge. It's hard to get a full shot of it. This is from the eclectic collection of Victory cars. Let's see if I can get you a full shot of it. Go ahead and check out that hood ornament right there. Funny smoking cigar. Let me get back, way back. You can clearly see this thing is huge. Look at that. That's pretty wild, though. I love crazy over-the-top stuff. Y'all know that from watching the show. That is something else. This beautiful work. And you know, the custom fabrication, the metal work, I really like that. I respect it because it takes a lot of skill and talent to do. But look at the woodworking on this. It really is kind of shaped like a boat. You know those Italian boats that you saw in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade? Or just about any movie that takes place in Italy? All right, we got other people out here with their camera gear. Cars of all kinds pulling up, you know, imports, domestic. 4 cylinders, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders, 12 cylinders. Let's go check out some of those 12-cylinder cars real quick. And we'll come over here and check out some Lamborghinis. We have a Lamborghini Gallardo V10 powered car. Really nice, really just still a great looking car. This is gonna be one of those timeless cars. And right next to it, the Aventador S. So this has some of the aero designs taken from the SV, like some of the fixed aero components. So they ditched some of the active stuff. 12-cylinder car, all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering. This thing is a beast on the track, of course. Then you have the SV and the SVJ now. but still, this car is outstanding. This would be the Roadster. You know, you got the removable tops, which lock into the front here. You know, we had a Lamborghini Aventador on the show, and it was life-changing. Over here, we've got a Rivero Karma. Really beautiful design car, originally designed by Fisker, but they took a lot of shortcuts in production, right? So the car was not very good. However, this, I believe Rivero is a Japanese company. They bought the rights to the car and had really top flight engineers work their way throughout the entire thing and make it a reliable, high quality car because it looks fantastic. It's too beautiful to kill. So they took it and made it a great and reliable car. And this is an electric car. You come over here, and for some of your accessories, does this have the, yeah, it has the what would you call this? Oh, drawing a blank. Solar panels. Over here we've got a Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera in that beautiful, vivid Lamborghini orange. You can't miss it. And we come over here, we got two more Aventadors. This is another Aventador S. A real stunning car, gorgeous interior. Looks like it has, I don't know if this is standard now, but it all the carbon fiber inside around the gauge cluster and your control buttons. So I don't know if that's a standard thing now or if it's an option. Look at the seats, beautiful orange stitching, really kind of helps it stand out. And you can't mistake those doors right there, man. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous car. So let's come over here. Let's check out one of my favorite cars here today. The Brute in a Suit, the Aston Martin DBS, S of course standing for Superleggera, and DB actually standing for David Brown, who at one time owned Aston Martin. I got to see these on the manufacturing, at the manufacturing facility at Aston Martin. You know, these are just great cars, and their quality has skyrocketed over the years. Their design just keeps getting better and better and better. And so they call this at the factory the Brute in a Suit. And you can have so many different custom things done to this. I mean, look at that interior. It's just a stunning car all the way around. You come around to the back. Beautiful rear end, carbon fiber aero pieces, really nice. And you come right here and you have the DB11 convertible. Really beautiful car. It's sort of like a light champagne type color. I don't know exactly what you would call it. Come around here, get a good look at that interior. Now, if the infotainment system, the control there and the screen looks a little familiar to you, that is actually from Mercedes-Benz. Aston Martin made a deal with them to provide their infotainment system because doing that custom and yourself costs a lot of money. Right there. And while these are still built in Warwickshire, Gaydon, or England, I should say. I don't know if it's Gaydon, Warwickshire, or Warwickshire, Gaydon, but in any case, they do farm out some things. So what they call the bonnet, we would call the hood, housing either a V12 or I believe twin-turboed 8-cylinder. This is actually one piece of aluminum, but it is actually pressed in, I believe, Sweden. So pretty interesting stuff, but the car is still fantastic. Of course, the DBX is on its way, Aston Martin's first SUV, so we'll see how that goes. And then we have a McLaren 720S, probably one of the best and most drivable supercars on the market. And one of the reasons is because you can see out of the back. So you've got this high degree of visibility here. You've got your windows here, here, and here. You know, usually if you're in a Lamborghini or something, there's no seeing out the back, or in a lot of Ferraris. But here you've got a much improved visibility, very fast car, and looks gorgeous in orange. And we come down over here, we've got the Aston Martin Vantage. This is a hell of a car. Once again, a huge step forward for the company. Good job on them. This comes with the twin-turbo V8, which is actually provided by Mercedes, as is the infotainment system. So really beautiful interior, but you can see once again the controls and the screen there, like I said. So that is actually comes from the fine people over at Mercedes-Benz.
I was thinking about it.
Good looking 570S McLaren in a black metallic. Now check this out, another 720S, but in blue. Which one would you pick? The blue or the orange? I have a hard time deciding. I'll take any one if you're giving them away, but I don't know. That would be a tough call for me. Jaguar F-Type SVR. Now, I've driven the supercharged V8 coupe and convertible. I've never driven the SVR. I believe this is all-wheel drive, but these are fun cars to drive. I get a kick out of them. The Maserati GT Gran Turismo, we had one of these on our show. They haven't changed very much of the exterior or how this car looks because, well, it always looks good. Aston Martin, again, the Vantage. Beautiful car. So we've got F360s here. We've got, I think we've got a Modena over here. Now, I'm not sure if this is it a Modena? I don't think so. I always have a hard time spotting the Modenas. Then we have the Porsche GT3 here. You know, our last episode was a Porsche 991 GT3 RS, and that was one of the most confidence-inspiring vehicles I've ever been in. I highly recommend you get behind the wheel of one, or if you got a friend, make friends with somebody who has it. It was one of the best and most thrilling rides I've been in. We went on the track. If you want to check out that video, I highly encourage you to do so. Let's go over here. And Lamborghini Murcielago. I know, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Someone will leave a comment. Really beautiful design. V12 powered once again. Has the active aero components retracted at the moment. So, and good Lord, this is a stick shift. So this thing is probably worth a decent chunk of money, and it's awesome. So it's hard to see. Let me see if I can get you a shot of the stick shift. Let me go in here. I'm actually waiting. Okay, there it is. So that makes it rare, makes it unique. Of course, the active aero is retracted right now, but the faster you go and the more cooling is necessary, these will raise and lower. Then you got a spoiler right back there. Here is a GT3 RS. So this car it's amazing. You know, as far as driver confidence, I'd put this up there with Huracan Performante. And I really love both cars. Driving both cars was fantastic, but this has got a different hood. Of course, you know, people do modify these. You can see it's got a cage in the back. That's pretty standard. You know, people do that a lot. Check out that episode though. We hit the track at Sebring, had a ton of fun there, and really just it was a blast. So, all right, V10 Audi R8 convertible. McLaren. Got a modern day Rolls-Royce here with the suicide doors, with the Spirit of Ecstasy. Now, unlike older Rolls-Royce cars, you know, they were fixed in place, people will try to steal them. If you touch this, and you should not touch it, it will retract into the body. There you go. And the owner was nice enough to demonstrate it for us. Thanks, man. So that's wild. Gorgeous Viper. I love that color on you. I see so many red Vipers and in blue and some yellow, and they're all great cars. We had a red one on our show, but I love that color. Come down this way, we've got a Ferrari 488 Spider. I believe this is a twin-turbo V8 engine, if I'm not mistaken. Another McLaren 570S. Lots of McLarens out here today. Hey, that's a good thing. So here is a really awesome BMW i8, their electric car. Really just stunning to look at, beautiful car. I love it to death. The doors open up in a really neat, unique way. How aero travels over the car, through the car, really, right here is pretty wild. So BMW proving that you can have an electric car and not look like you're a vegan. And we're surrounded by all sorts of coolness. We have ZL1 Camaro right here. C7 Stingray Corvette. One of those limo hooky-doos. Those limo buses, whatever you call it, limo van. Let's see inside. Let's come around this way. Is it open? Hopefully. Wow, check it out, man. The ultimate party bus. So you've got some screens, got a whole bunch of buttons. I don't know what they do. A joystick to play Pac-Man, I guess. This is very nice. I believe this is an insurance company, so I guess it pays to be in the insurance business. Got your big TV there to watch Combustion Chamber, right? That's the show you should be watching, and you're watching it right now, so thank you very, very much. Little Snokio right here, check that out. Free water and some shaved ice. I saw these guys actually for the first time at the Hot Wheels show in Miami, which is also on the channel. We did a live from there, and it's pretty good stuff. You can see how just absolutely packed this show is. We have, you know, NSX cars, Acuras of all kinds actually. And you've got these new NSX cars here, and then you've got the old school NSX over here, which is still a good, great looking car actually. You know, you've got Audi, you've got Mercedes, Lamborghini, Lexus, imports, Nissans, you know, I mean, you just got it all. Beautiful, like bluish purple color. Wouldn't know quite how to describe it. Pretty slick interior though. There's another one I saw that had this gorgeous interior. I know it's on some of our other stuff, but get you a full shot of that right there. So, you know, this show is just a few hours long, but really it could run all day before you actually see everything. Hey, come over here. I want to show you these i8s, how the doors open up. If you weren't already aware, many people are, but they open up in this very unique way. Like that right there. All right, so we're here where a lot of the imports are. You got your Nissans, you got your GTRs, you got a whole variety of things. Now, I'll be perfectly honest with you, these cars I'm not that well versed in. I grew up on American muscle. But you can see that it's clean. Look, I mean, look at this engine compartment. Definitely modified, very clean. Is this is right-hand drive. So now it's legal to have these here in the country. So they have they go to the nines on their cars too. Got just a whole slew of stuff. We have a two-faced Hyundai there. Looks like it's dual wrapped. It's pretty wild. Come over here. BMW. And look at that classic Camaro. This would be a 68. No vent windows and the square side markers. So, looks like it was probably started its life as a 6-cylinder. Well, no, it says 327, so maybe they didn't put badging on it. You can get it without the SS. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up before I talk out of turn. But I love my first gens. If y'all watch the show, you know me and my dad restored a 67 Camaro together, so, and I still have it. I'm never going to sell it. And we have a lot of new Camaros here today. So, you know, some are bagged and lowered and have different wraps on it, aftermarket hoods. Your girl's next. Nah. I'm sure the owner's nice. I'm just joshing you. So, pretty cool looking ride. Of course, you know, these 6th gen Camaros and 5th gens here are pretty wild. So, wow, man, someone's got the sound system today.
You gotta have yellow.
So we've got some 1LE cars. We've got, let's see, this would be the ZL1. I assume it is it, or is it just modified with a bunch of stuff? Oh, it's SS. Okay, so it's SS. I just thought, well, they maybe swapped the hood out, but it does have some of those styling cues. So it's an SS highly modified. So people can do that, and the parts are out there, man. They make a ton of parts for these cars. So, I mean, they're fast already. Now, this is a ZL1. How could I get that wrong? But definitely a nice lineup of modern Camaro muscle. And right opposite of them, Ford pickup trucks. I mean, a lot of Ford pickup trucks. So you got your F-150s, you've got, you know, new body styles, older body styles. You got some that are jacked up, some that are close to stock height. I'm sure someone's lowered one here. I don't know today. You've got the Shelby, I believe, do they call this the Super Snake? If I'm not mistaken, but it's the F-150, 755 horsepower. Of course, that's easy to discover because it's right there on the badge. So there's that engine compartment. Got that Ford blue supercharger on it. So, very powerful ride. Got a custom, pretty nice interior. I don't know if the carbon fiber accents come with it as an option, or it's standard, or it's something that the owner did, because it's always fun to modify. Not always easy, but fun. We come down here, we got more trucks, you know, just jacked up to the sky. Not too high, but I love the blue on this. And I like what they did right here with the blue F-150 Miller time. So I don't know if the guy's last name is Miller. I had a friend that I served with in the Army. I had two guys actually that names were Miller, but one was from Wisconsin, and you know, I always say Miller time. He had a Miller jacket, you know, because the joke, you know, I'm Miller and Miller Lite. So, and then we have this Ford Raptor here, 6.2 liter, with those anodized red wheels, the custom right there. Those are 3 claws. That's Wolverine. Sorry, I'm quoting a line from the first Transformers. Got some color changing LEDs. It's a little hard to see out here today in the bright sunlight, but I bet it really lights up well at night. They're on those anodized red wheels. And here, right next to it, F-150 Lariat in that deep, rich kind of green color. It really is neat. I do believe they paint the Mustangs that same color. Really, really top-notch color. At least it's one of my favorites that Ford is currently manufacturing. So we come over here, Jeeps. Jeeps everywhere. Bright orange, Rubik clone. So the Jeep guys are huge here, right? They come out and they've got all sorts of stuff. Then you've got companies, and then you've got like groups like Mission 22, which is fighting against veteran suicide. Veteran suicide rates are noticeably higher than the national average. So it's something that definitely needs awareness brought to it. This is what that group does. I don't know them personally or anything, but being a veteran, if you're doing that kind of work, well, you certainly have my respect. So come here. And of course, they drive up on the other tire right there. Let me get you a wide shot of that so you can check that out. Maverick Customs out here today. And what's great about this is we can check out some of the suspension underneath a lot easier. So let's walk the Jeep line here. Someone was smoking a cigar. It smells really good. I like my cigars. So we've got all like late model Jeeps and all kinds, but I want to turn your attention to this one over here. Look at this. This is 1948. Looks like it's an award winner. That's a cool trophy. This is pretty slick. Super clean restoration too. I mean, I photographed it earlier, so I got to, you know, get a close-up look at it, but that is something else. You know, the late model Jeeps are great, you know, love them, but when do you ever at any show see a Jeep from this era? You really don't. And then over here we got a classic Jeep Renegade. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the, I know it's a different package, but the end of the original Terminator. Sarah Connor drives off in a Renegade. Whoa, pink Jeep. So lots of custom work done there. Wow. It's got a pink monkey in the rear view mirror there. So lots of good stuff. And another couple people. So that's pretty wild. So, you know, people do this, you know, even if they're not with a company necessarily, they'll drive up on the other guy's tire, and it looks cool. So, I mean, you've got stuff that has been modified just to no end. Like, just a ton of work put into it, which I think is fantastic. I mean, I'd set them back a couple of bucks. So, like I said, lots of Jeeps here, and all kinds of Jeeps are welcome. It's not just you have to have this kind. You know, you can have a Rubicon, a Renegade, whatever, man, and they're nice to everybody. They stick together. All right, here we are. The Mustang row here. So lots of late model Mustangs, which is great. All kinds of packages. You know, you got Shelby GT350s, your GTs, your 6-cylinders. I'm sure some of the turbo 4-cylinders are out here today. Just a massive lineup here. So, you know, the cars that really stand out, that, you know, you definitely notice, they have like the largest groups of people, is your Camaros, your Corvettes, your Mustangs, Chargers, and Challengers. These are, I mean, obviously they're big selling cars anyways, but they're everywhere, man. I mean, just they come out in a huge pack. And here you've got one that's bagged. I'm gonna take a safe guess and say this is bagged. I doubt it's cut like that. I don't think he just cut the springs. That would be not the brightest thing to do. So, you know, we've talked about bag systems before. You know, you can bring it up to a regular height, drive in. You don't have to worry about clipping the front here, getting it all scratched up. Then you come to the show, deflate the bags, car comes down, you got that nice stance, which looks really good in pictures. So if you're a photographer watching right now, I'll put photos up from the show, but what I do with a car that sits this low and is bagged, I put the camera all the way on the ground and look up at the car, and it makes it look larger than life. It really sells it. A little photography tip there for you. And we cut through here, and more imports. Got Hondas, some Mustangs. We got a, hey, look at the Ram SRT10 powered by the 10-cylinder Viper motor. More Mustangs, a Cadillac, a V-Series, the supercharged V8. Pretty wild stuff. And just look how massive this show is. And this is one section of it. There's a whole other section we haven't even seen yet. And let's come over. Okay, so we got the Subarus and the Scions, and I like those cars, but I love my 4th gen Camaro. So I don't know who the owner of this car is, but I love 4th gens because I have one. Not always the easiest car to work on, but a fantastic car nonetheless. You know, if you find one of these in good condition, with the LS engine in it, which this has the LS1 5.7 liter, get it. The engines are bulletproof if you take care of them. And this looks like it has full SLP options. SLP would add the hood and do some performance things, but the grille right there with the SS badging in it was typically an option you would get from SLP. And I don't know if you got the 5-spoke chrome from them or not, but these cars would get shipped to SLP. They would install the spoiler, the functional scoop right there. And this one has, okay, it's got quad tips. There was an option where it would have 2 tips at the back and a extra piece of trim that looked really nice. But this car is in fantastic shape. The dash, of course, is just phenomenal. You know, your 4th and your 3rd gen Camaros, you know, dash cracks and whatnot, but this is in great shape. Yes, I know it's clean, but please don't touch. Exactly. Don't touch the Camaro. Don't touch any car. Don't be that guy. Come over here. We have a Ford Focus. We have a whole lot of Fiats here. The Abarth, if I'm saying that correctly, they have a real loyal following. Really small cars, but really fun cars. I haven't driven one personally, but I hear that they're fun and they're kind of nimble and agile and just, you know, just an all-around blast to drive. And here's their Roadster, the Abarth Roadster. That's pretty wild. I have to research more about these cars. But they are huge number You know, you wouldn't think it. You know, I mean, if you're not in it, you know, you may not know, but
I've got quite a few things in the engine.
they're all lined up here. All right, here is an awesome Alfa Romeo 4C. Now, why am I featuring this car here today? Well, I always say keep up with us on social media, because before I come to a show like this, I say reach out to me. Let me know if you are going to be there, and I will feature your car specifically. So that's what I'm doing here today. I know it's had some light modifications already, but he is planning, the owner of this car is planning an aftermarket exhaust system. Puts with a 1.7 liter 4-cylinder. Puts out a little over 200 horsepower. And you can say, well, that's not a lot, but guess what? This car is so light. You know, you've got to think about that. It's not just power, it's the power to weight ratio. So this car is very nimble, it's agile. The owners who've gotten them love them. There's not very many that are sold in the States, and that's kind of a shame because they've got such a great reputation for quality and just being a nice car and very unique and different looking. So yeah, I like it because it's different. I like it because not everybody is driving. So we saw this car a little earlier, but the owner came up to me while I was filming the Alfa Romeo. And this is a Fiat 124 Spider. Has an exhaust modification, has a 4-cylinder, puts out just over 100 horsepower, but remember that power to weight ratio. And the owner told me a story that while she was in Mexico, not in America, she got it up to a little over 140 miles an hour. But she did it in another country, not here in America, and certainly not here in Florida. So they're nimble and they're agile, and it's a stick shift. So the owner drives this car, does not drive for her. So very clean and in great condition. Once again, not a car that you see every day. Now, here's a lineup of cars that I'm thrilled to see here today. These are Kia Stingers, and they have a whole club. This is the most Kia Stingers that showed up to any show that I've been to, and especially here. Now, the Stinger is a, if I'm not mistaken, a twin-turboed or single-turboed V6 engine, but it's rear-wheel drive. It's a very nice car. Actually, Kia kind of took a couple of BMW designers and brought them over, and didn't kidnap them. They'll probably offer them a good chunk of change. And what's great about these cars is that, like I said, they're rear-wheel drive. They got plenty of power. They're well built, excuse me, and great-looking cars. And what's interesting is I'm a big Holden guy. Y'all know that because I have that GTO. But Holden no longer manufactures cars, so the Holden Commodore is no longer a thing. I mean, it is, but I think it's a front-wheel drive something now. So down in Australia, these are very popular because they're filling that gap in the market. So it's so great to see these out here today. And it's just such good-looking cars. It's got this one that's bagged right here. So that's pretty well. So people are already taking to modifying it, some cosmetic stuff, some mechanical. You know, it's just whatever suits you. But it's really great to see these out here today because the Stinger is a nice car. We need to get one on the show, and I love the just the rear end design. I mean, these are sharp. You know, when you think of Kia, you think of economy, you think of a budget car. You know, but these are fantastic and really just so nice. And I'm really glad that Kia pulled the trigger on making these. Now, a real special treat out here today for all of us is Larson Motorsports, the Jet Dragsters. If you're familiar with drag racing, you know, you've heard of Top Fuel, Pro Stock, and these are great. You know, they run off different types of fuel like nitromethane. However, this is a Jet Dragster, and I highly encourage y'all, if you ever get the chance to check it out, do it, because especially at night. Now, even when they do a run during the day, it's really fantastic the way that the car sounds. I like that. And it does still make a great show during the day, but at night, they have these things called Nights of Fire, and it's just massive. So this is Elaine Larson's car. I got to speak to her earlier. Very nice driver. So, and this is really wicked. And you can kind of see on their trailer there all the fire coming out of the back, but seeing this live really does it justice. This is one of the coolest forms of racing I've ever seen. So you should definitely check out Larson Motorsports. Here we've got a stroked and blown 427 Mustang. Lots of custom work put into it there. A lot of gauges, two-tone interior. And there is the motor. The killer glass there. We had that on one of our episodes. The Challenger actually did all the burnouts. Really clean, really great condition car. And we come over here, and we've got a whole slew of powerful, classic Mustangs.
But it's a long run.
So here we have a 57 Chevy with some LS power, custom hood there, you know, done the clamshell way instead of the traditional way. So that LS gets you all that power, that reliability. Nice cruise, custom interior, really clean. Really nice to look at. And then we come over here, hot rods of all kinds. Sinister, right there. Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff out here today. Of course, got a second gen Camaro with a big blower sticking out of the hood. I love it. I love the color. I love the white stripes with that orange. It's just a great car. This thing, look at that thing cooks. Classic Chevrolet pickup truck. I also like my bright colors. You know, like my oranges. Love the green though. I think it really pops on this truck. They included painting the grille. Really nice. Classic Nova here. Tubbed in the back. Definitely made for drag racing. Definitely a straight line car. So, really wicked. Check out the engine. Makes the hippies cry. So check this deuce and a half out, a military vehicle. I believe it's a single axle now. The owner came up to me, saw what I was doing, told him about the show. So I thought I'd feature it. You know, if you come up to me, you want me to give your vehicle a little extra love, I'll certainly do that for you. Now, when I was in the military, these were already phased out. We still use terms like deuce and a half, but we didn't have this vehicle. We had other things like Humvees, M-Raps, and then we had something that's sort of like a deuce and a half, but it was up armored. What up armored means, it's got extra armor for roadside bombs, gunfire, stuff like that. And I've driven it all actually. So, but this thing is, as you can see, clearly massive, but in great shape. I wonder. Let's see. Let's get a shot of that interior in there. Of course, being a military vehicle, you know, they never option for leather seats or a nice sound system. I speak from experience, but still very cool. And very massive. So this would be a troop carrier or to haul large amounts of supplies or even towing. I mean, that's the name, deuce and a half. And then we come over here and I want you to check something out. We've got, okay, so we've got more off-road vehicles, Jeeps, your Ford pickup trucks, and more military vehicles. So this is something, this Humvee here is a little bit more akin to what I would drive. I've driven this version of it too, the two-door with the open bed in the back. I've driven four-door up armored. Once again, up armored means that they were armored for roadside bombs and gunfire. I've also worked on them. That was not the fun part. Now, this is a classic right here, but I want to show you all this wicked rat rod Mad Max Volkswagen. I love it when people go real wild and really make it their own. I posted a photo to our Instagram with the line, you know, the line from Mad Max. What a lovely day! So it's decked out here with valves from a motor, all different sizes too. So it looks like some are intake and some are exhaust. So, and you've got your guards here. You know, remember on the A-Team, if you were old enough to remember that show, every time they'd armor a vehicle to fight, you know, they would put steel over the windows and all that. So that's pretty cool. And there's the inside there. We can barely see it, but it's cool, man. So like I said, I love it when people really make the vehicle their own. And this is definitely unique.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Check this out, this McLaren here, the M6 GT. I don't know, a lot of my audiences are going to know this show. It's pretty old, but it's Hardcastle in McCormick, and they actually have a shot of a car, or this model car, going under a semi-truck because it sits so low. It's just a neat stunt they did, and on all those 80s TV shows, they did all these wicked car stunts that were pretty amazing, like the A-Team and your Night Rider shows. But this is wild to see out here because, you know, once again, not a car that you see every day, and was really unique. But yeah, Hardcastle McCormick, I remember that being a good show when I was younger, and this car, this model car, was practically one of the stars of the show. So let's end things strong with Lowriders, one of my favorite types of cars. So as opposed to a bag system, hydraulics are used to either raise it up like that or bring it low to the ground. So it looks like almost everybody here is with the same group, Homies Creations. Now, here's what I love about Lowriders. I love the uniqueness, I love the style, I like the history. But one of the things I really like about it is it's a completely family-oriented thing. Now, I know there's ladies watching right now that are into cars, and maybe you're into cars along with your man, but you know that there's not a lot of ladies, and sometimes even the kids aren't really that enthusiastic about the car. It's usually the guy, right? Well, with Lowriders, it's the whole family. It's the grandparents, it's the mom, the kids, and these cars are slick. This one is especially clean. This classic Impala, 1961, real clean interior, real great shape. So the Lowriders are just some of my favorite cars, and this one is definitely a driving Lowrider. Of course, when it's here at the show, it wasn't trailered in, but some of the cars are so detailed and have so much chrome and paintwork and stuff that they're usually trailered in. But this one is definitely a drivable Lowrider. You got your wire wheels down there, and what is this? For y'all that don't know, what is that right there? Those are curb feelers. They'll make a funky sound if you're getting too close to the curb, so you don't damage your wheels. So that's what those are there for. And then we have a Lincoln here that's the same club, Lowride. Saw the guy detailing it extensively earlier. Not a Lowrider, but got the big donk wheels on it. Very nice though. Classic Pontiac Bonneville, a big boat of a car, but I love them. You know, I love my huge old Pontiacs. And another thing about Lowriders is Lowrider bikes. Now check this out. This thing is gorgeous. Got that crushed velvet seat. So I like the bikes too. You know, I went to the Miami Lowrider car show last year, and I had an absolute blast. But I had to come over here and show you the Lowriders. It's some of my favorite cars, and I hope that this show has been worth your time. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that everybody enjoyed today's Combustion Chamber Live. You know, I love coming out to this event. One, it's the largest cars and coffee in the world, and from what I'm told, today was a record-breaking day in attendance. And also, I want to thank the people that contacted us on our social media and said, hey, I'm going to be there. Would you feature my car? You know, that's something that we put out there on our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter, saying, hey, if you're going to be there, let us know, and we'll feature your car. And also, the people that just came up and saw what I was doing, I really appreciate that, because I know that you put so much love and effort into your automobile. So to feature it, it just means the world to me. If you like what you see, you know, hit that subscribe button, the thumbs up, share it with your friends. That goes so far. We're on Patreon, and once again, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you all for tuning in today.